Here's a step-by-step tutorial on how to paint dandelions. I'm using gouache paint on a watercolor sketchbook. I stuck the tape to my jeans first to make it less sticky, that's why it looks weird. I don't want my background to be reactivated with water, so I'm using acrylic gouache. I'm starting with a dark, almost black color at the bottom of the page and gradually blending that into a light green. I've been storing these pre-mixed background shades in this translucent airtight palette to keep the paint fresh. Next, we remove our tape, and then I'm going to start creating grass with this Princeton liner brush. Create some nice contrast by painting darker blades of grass on the lighter areas and lighter blades on the dark areas. I'm making the grass at the bottom of the page longer so that it looks closer. With a medium brown, create some dots that are going to be the centers of our dandelion puffs. These are the things that you blow and make a wish on. You know what I'm talking about. Now make some orange football shapes. These are going to be the base of our dandelion flowers. And make the ones at the top of the page smaller so that they look further away. I used watered down white gouache to create a transparent layer for the dandelion puffs. These always dry lighter than you think that they will. I left the brown area uncovered, and I also added some stems afterward. I mixed some of this white ink with my yellow orange gouache to make a nice opaque layer of flower petals. I used my size 6 round brush here and created shorter petals on the top and center of these flowers and longer petals on the sides and bottom. I used that white ink that I just mentioned to create the lines on these dandelion puffs, and I'm using the same liner brush that I used for the grass. The lines around the center are shorter, and then they gradually get longer as you go out towards the edge of the circle. Next, I just painted a bunch of tiny X's all over the circle. This was definitely the most satisfying part for me. I think it can be a little bit tricky if you are not used to painting fine details. The trick is to not have too much paint on your brush. I would recommend having a scrap piece of paper where you can test out how thin the line will be. I ended up adding some more grass in the back, and then I painted some little flying seeds. I'm not exactly sure how to explain how I did it, so I will just give you guys a visual. I painted a few more of these, and then I also turned the ends of them brown because that's the color it's supposed to be. For the last little detail, we're going to be creating some flower buds. You're going to paint a light green stem with a U shape on top, and in that U, you'll paint a yellow orange, which will be the same yellow orange that we used for the dandelion flower petals. I hope you guys feel inspired to give this a try yourselves, and as always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments.